Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Today, goddamn, we're going to talk about Jada, but more than Jada, bad and toxic relationships. Men, if you see women like Jada, fucking run. Run for the hills as fast as you can. Women, if you see a guy that acts like Jada, run your goofy asses as fast as you can in the opposite direction because the shit she's putting out here ain't good for nothing. These are people you don't want to deal with. You don't. You don't want to deal with it. It's some bullshit. This is straight bullshit, T. God damn.
You just jumped all the way in. We didn't even get to expose what was going on.
Oh, okay.
You forgot that part. You just
shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
buried the lead.
Yeah, you buried the lead. Y'all was like, fuck it. I'm just letting you know right now. It don't fucking matter what Jada did. Listen, don't be her.
Oh.
But realistically, let's call spade a spade, right? Let's just from we talked about Jada before, right?
Yes.
When during the slap last year.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't checked it out, link is probably in the description. But this year, she drops a memoir. She's like, you know what, guys? Let's talk about my life. First off, nigga, I don't want to know more about your life. I'm in a harm disrespect. Your life sounds like it's fucking awful. Why? Because it's a coffin of fucking sadness and like shoulda, coulda, wouldas for no reason. Like she act like niggas just grew up and you was just in the hood getting smacked up. Niggas was pardon my language, ladies and gentlemen, was violating you and some more shit. And then you like, man, I finally got a chance to get out of this and I just wish things were different. Bitch, there are like not 95, 96, 97% of women would kill you tomorrow for your life. A nigga who's going to provide for you, going to give your kids, show and shower you with love. It's not the way I wanted it. And they make me feel bad. And Tupac was my soulmate. And I loved him. And we didn't have sexual chemistry, but he was my soulmate. And my kids and we all. Bitch, shut the fuck up!
That was a brief synopsis, though.
Yes, it was.
And it was pretty well done. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
It was very much so male biased, but still, like it was well done. It was well done. I will say that.
Oh my God, yes. It's just a never-ending saga with her.
I mean, well, first of all, it's the fact that it's an open book situation. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of us are trying to figure out what else do we need to know about her that we don't already know, right? Like, absolutely. What more do you need to explain to us about you and Tupac? What more do you need to explain to us about you and any other entanglement perhaps you were in? We don't know. I don't know. But what more do we need to know about her and her husband? Because at this point, we tried to shush them back after the slap.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, we've been said that we don't need to know nothing about nobody's marriage.
No.
Like, this relationship is nothing different from anybody else's. And now all of a sudden, we on a whole book tour about the marriage. I'm like, oh, okay. But, okay. So technically, we should be giving her a pass, right? Because it's like she's standing in her truth. This is very bold of her. Perhaps it's not propaganda. Perhaps this is very true things, right? Even though she does want you to buy the book ultimately, but she's saying these aren't false, events that she's claiming. Her and Will perhaps really were, separated for all those years. And, we're judging her quite harshly.
Yes.
And I don't know if she knows why.
we're going to tell you.
You quite get it.
We're going to say why we're judging her hostily. I mean, real hostilely. And I just made that shit up. But we just real hostile. If you're not happy, can you fucking just leave? Why you got to tell us you've been separated for 7 years and all this other bullshit. Because it's taking all of Will's balls. If he had some,
no, we don't. We ain't even got drag.
Yeah, on some real shit. Like I don't give a fuck about Will.
I know.
Because to me, this is a coffin of your own doing.
Yeah. So again, this is the reason why I get a lot of guys that say, "Hey, this is why I don't want to fucking marry." This people, women like her, women like any other women who does this. This is why I don't want to get married, because they can't keep their damn mouth shut. They got to tell the whole world how miserable they are, but they don't tell me, the man, how miserable they are, but they're going to tell everybody else. And now I got to look like the bad guy, because you're hearing from her side, which is really probably not the right side, but that's what she wants to tell.
Right.
So
one-sided.
And so guys like this shit right here.
Because it could only be one side. I can only tell my story.
And what's the purpose of telling your story?
Yeah.
So again,
generally speaking, as a married couple, I wouldn't just stand there to speak on my story alone.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's why a lot of guys, we get writings all the time about guys like, I'm glad you put it out there, because women don't want to have this conversation. They want to talk about women aren't responsible. They try to throw it on us. And it's really, she is doing this for a purpose which is not benefiting the marriage union. It's benefiting her, because why you got to go on a book tour? We're not talking about Will Smith, who's a broke dude who barely keeps food on the table. We're talking about a guy who has millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So it should not be for money. It should be based on you really have a truth outside of your marriage. If it's your personal, I want to hear it all day. I want to see tell me how you overcame certain things. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you survived certain things in your life. I hear that all day long, because you're a person who overcame and can teach other people how to overcome their difficulties.
But wouldn't it be intertwined because I'm married? Like, if I'm going through something, it's going to be all intertwined within my marriage, myself, who I am, and what I'm trying to do. So if I tell the story of what I was going through and what I had to overcome, I did that with you. And when in some points I offended you, some points I was away from you, I had to avoid, like how it goes down inside of a real household, right?
True.
Like if I'm depressed or sad or mad or, work has got me overwhelmed, right? I'm feeling that inside the house, and I'm kind of pushing that off on you also, the way I'm going about and moving around. So when it's time for me to tell my story on, how I was going through whatever it is I was going through, you're a part of it because you was there. Because we're married.
Absolutely. And that's something that you, as a unit, should be talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, if we as a unit come together, so you know what we went through, the world see what we went through together. Yeah. And present it as a united front. Yeah. Not as you running out there saying, well, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, or he wanted to make me happy, but that wasn't make me happy, and I want somebody who's dead and long gone, and so it's like, what the fuck? What the hell?
She didn't say she wanted the guy who's dead and long gone, did she?
Oh, he's my soulmate, and I swear.
Well, to be fair, I will give her flowers in saying this. She said there's different levels of soulmate. Your kids can be your soulmate. We listened to the clip before this pod started. So for her, soulmate, we take it in a romantic sense, but I guess what she truly meant is just when you think of somebody who like understands you to your core. Mm-hmm. I think that's the crux of what she's trying to say. Like, a soulmate is somebody who understands you to your core, understands exactly what you want, exactly who you are, and doesn't ask you to change because they know exactly who you are. They accept you for who you are. That. Yeah. And I think that's what she's saying is that Tupac accepted her for all of her isms and all of her shit. And that's cool. Like, I'm glad that like you found somebody who accepts you for your shit. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody should find somebody who accepts them for their shit. I don't need to know the shit that you have that you wish somebody would accept. My issue with Jada, and I think a lot of guys who are like my age have the issue, is it's a prime example of why you don't try to make somebody better than who they are. Like, yo had money. Yo decided to say, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to uplift this Baltimore chick and try to show her a different life where you could actually celebrate and have a good time and be outside. And she's like, I didn't want any of that. Your disrespectful fucking ass had the audacity to turn this man's fucking kids against him because you're a piece of shit. Call a spade a spade. There's a bunch of bitches who watch this fucking podcast who sit there and swear up and down that Jada is not wrong. I'm telling you from the kindness of my spirit to go fuck yourself. If this is a problem for you, then go ahead and turn the fucking podcast off. I'm talking to the niggas and the women who fully understand that this shit is fucking insane. I don't need to know. Nobody needs to know that much about your life. Call a spade a spade. Nobody needs to know that much about your life. If you aren't happy in your relationship, then most logical, smart people just remove themselves from the fucking relationship. You're sitting here.
I'm gonna put a little. I just put a little
Okay.
water on his fire. Okay. That was the producer. He
Yes.
made me drop the mic guard there. Okay.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna just back up just a little bit. We are mostly offended over the highlight of the whole Tupac thing because at this point, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of most people, because it's too redundant at this point. Is that true? Is that basically what's going on? Like,
Yeah, I'm tired.
so what? At this, like,
How else you gonna say you don't fucking like your nigga that you married to? Like, to me, that's what she keeps going out of her way to say. I don't fuck with Will. Every time that nigga exists, I'm thinking of ways I can say go fuck that
I don't
nigga.
think she's saying that.
That's what it sound like. That's what it sound like. It sound like you don't fuck with that nigga. And that's cool. I'm not telling you you need to like him, but you married him, right? So we sit here,
It's
we
not the
talk
best way to honor Will.
we talk about that all the
mention
time. Like,
it.
okay, you go
It's
when
not
you go
the
to
best way to honor him.
exactly because you
And
go
I
there and you
think-
say like, I'm gonna go ahead and when I get married, I have a set of vows, like to honor, to hold, to care for, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You both are married for a long period of time, longer than they were,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think so.
well, you might be. You might be.
27 years? Yeah, we're married 27 years.
Yeah.
I think, okay.
I thought they were like 20.
I thought they was 28. I don't know.
I don't
How many
fucking
years
know.
are they married? I don't know.
Even still, let's say you were married 28. So y'all still comparable.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you guys have had your shit, you have not come on any of these fucking 50 plus episodes of this podcast and buried mom.
Nope.
You haven't came over here on these 50 some odd podcasts and buried your husband.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But she actively, whenever she opens her mouth, finds a way to say, man, Will never gave a fuck about me. Never gave a fuck about me the way I wanted to be given a fuck about. Not, he didn't, like, and please understand what I'm saying. Not, oh, he doesn't care about me, but like, literally, I expected him to care about me in this particular way. You cannot control how somebody cares about you.
No.
You cannot control how somebody shows their love to you.
No.
Even if that's not the way you might accept love. We talked about love languages.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all love languages were obviously different. That's obvious.
That's the most obvious thing.
That's the
that I
obvious
think
thing.
We can kind of learn from this situation that, you know, we all have love languages and we
Exactly.
see two love languages that weren't actually on the same page.
It wasn't connected. Yep.
Yeah.
It was not
I think
connected.
that's real fair and obvious here.
And it's just constantly, it's like, again, you could use your platform for a lot of different things, and you have a platform.
Mm-hmm.
You could use your platform for good or your platform for fuckery.
I think this is the situation where keeping it real goes wrong.
This is real.
I think that's just all that's really happening here. They're like, this is real live. Our you know, roundaway girl Jada, who, you know, real live is from whatever hood near you type of girl, and she, you know, in her heart just feels like, you know, I'm gonna keep it as real. And I know there's going to be women out there who can relate to what I'm going through. And I'm going to go out there and try to relate to these women and to people who, you know, want to see me for my raw self.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going wrong. This is like keeping it real gone wrong.
Horribly
Like,
wrong.
people aren't, it's the for better or for worse of
Yes.
the marriage. And this is the hard part to swallow, guys. Believe it or not. Nobody wants to see the for worse part of your marriage or any marriage.
No.
Nobody wants, your children don't want to see it.
No.
Mom and dad don't want to see it. People in the street, real, like, they just want to watch it as an entertainment sake, but they really don't want to see it. Nobody wants to watch someone else's house on fire.
No.
The natural response is to, like, let's help put the fire out.
But every time we try to put the fire, you throw more gasoline on the
Like,
on
what
it.
the hell's happening at this house? Why I keep getting what?
Exactly. And
What?
it's so asinine.
And it's not like we get to see the house on fire. They get to tell us about it after it's been set on. And it's like, well, if the damn flame's already out, why y'all mentioning it? Y'all already got it under control, then why are you telling all us y'all was separated and now y'all reconciling your marriage now? Like, so why y'all talking to us about what?
Yeah, and
Leave us alone.
That's what I'm saying. And like I said, T, the thing that really, it's bad enough on all this bullshit, but then she came out with a comment, which just floored me. She was like, well, I'm going to stay married to him because he's getting old. He's going to need somebody to help him when he gets old. Bitch, you only 3 years apart. It ain't like he 89 years old and you 45. It's like, oh, you plan on him. Well, if he falls down the set of steps and he needs some help, I'm going to go over there and help him because he's going to need somebody to help him.
There's going to be a line of women who's willing to help.
I mean, realistically, if that man literally, if you want to talk about something to protect him and like help him out on some real shit, like then just leave him. Exactly. You would actually be doing him a service by walking away. Because no one knew
it's not all that this easy, about, guys.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
it's
like
not that easy.
I'm saying like, bro, no one knew all that shit about Will's relationships until she decided to open her mouth.
Will openly supports every action
nobody cares
she's
about that.
taking right now. He loves her. Love.
Right, and that's cool. You could love her. I gotta assume, right?
This is love.
You have to assume. You have to assume there's some level of love there that, like, to me, visually feels like isn't reciprocated. Because if you care, to me, if I care about somebody, I'm going to protect you from whatever bullshit from outside. I can't protect you from me. I can do what I can do. I might fuck up. I might think I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yep.
That's something that you and I have to figure out. We talk about it all the time, how the reason why a lot of relationships don't work is because everybody goes to everybody else with their fucking problems instead of the person who's sitting across the table from you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You mad at your wife, you talking to your best friend, your co-workers, your boss.
You don't know how to talk to the person sitting across from you.
But that's the problem.
Communication.
Because what are you talking about? What else are y'all talking about if not, hey, how do we ensure that each day, each week, each month, each year moves as smoothly as humanly possible if we are not actively making sure that the decisions in which we are making are positively affecting someone else? You obviously sat there through your relationship for a lot of years and didn't say shit.
Well, what she
that's what it feels like.
She actively progressed in certain areas of her relationship and ignored other spaces in the relationship. So in the beginning part of the podcast, we spoke about how you move with mask on. And some people have more than one mask. And so this is like a prime example where she's pretty much exposing to the world like, yo, no, I had on those masks. And in those masks, I progressed and I achieved certain things. And then once I got to an apex, oh, baby, internally, I crumbled. I crumbled inside.
You did not do the necessary work to get yourself to where you need to get to. Because, again, you go back to, I want to impress everybody else. I want to impress my parents. I want to impress the friends. I want to impress the world. But the only person you need to really impress is you. Yeah. But you need to know who you are to impress yourself.
That was number one. Didn't know who self was.
And at this point, 55. I think she's 52. I think Will's 55. Goddamn, T. At 52 years of age, you still trying to figure this shit out. What? And again,
I don't know what they've been doing.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't know.
Because you don't have the part. Listen, oh well, I need to see a therapist. I'm pretty sure you can find any therapist in the world.
No, so she had an enlightening situation.
Oh, enlightening?
Yeah.
What happened?
Around the same time she had the entanglement?
No, I don't know. No.
Was she just was she in her duffel bag and she was like, you know what? I gotta go ahead and check my dictionary. So EN words today. I guess I'll be enlightened and then let's flip the next page. I guess we'll be entangled after that. And then maybe we'll go ahead and get engorged with some dick from a 24-year-old, you old dusty bitch.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up.
Not a problem. Glad I could help.
Wow.
That's the other
was
thing.
A roast session.
Yes, but the producer brought up a very good point. It wasn't like she went out there and found a dude around her age to have this entanglement with. Come to find out, this guy was very good friends, was close with one of her kids. Well, I don't know which. I must have been the oldest one.
Yeah.
It was Jaden.
Okay. So
he was friends with Jaden.
So think about this. Your kid, who you know how old he is, so his friend comes over, you're like, that young fuck. I like put it on him. So I don't know how you.
I mean, realistically, flip it. Flip the sexes. We're not even having this conversation. Everyone's gonna be sitting there. We're not even talking about everything else she said. If we flip the sexes, there would be 85,000 people beating the shit out of Will right now, talking about how dare you have sex with Willow's best friend. She's 20-some-odd years old. You an old-ass man. That's why niggas are so weird. They're always predatory.
How old was the guy, though?
24.
When they engaged in
24.
he was
24.
Well, come on.
She's too old.
Come on.
She was too old.
She was too old.
She was too old, but I mean, he was old enough.
Oh, see. Okay, now.
There wasn't like a male taking advantage of a 16-year-old.
You're right.
Absolutely.
But it's still weird, right?
No, it's definitely some weird shit.
Exactly. Like anybody who would think about it, like, oh man, my best friend is having sex with my parent.
Yeah, no,
Period.
it's out of order.
That's out of pocket.
I'm not gonna deny that.
That's out of pocket, regardless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really the thing. Like, regardless of the age gap, it's the fact that you fucking your child's friend. That's out of pocket.
It is.
It don't matter how you know the nigga. It don't matter how long they've been friends.
This shit hard. I mean, I'm just it was a side note. It was a side note. It was just a side note.
But it's true.
Yeah.
And so again,
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Yep, you're trying.
I'm trying.
And it's just failing miserably because you're right. If you switch that, Will would be on a stake, run down the street. Dude was stabbing his ass and throwing tar and feathers on his ass, running his ass out of town because I dare old man look at some young virgin like that.
No, she wouldn't have been a virgin. She was 24 in America. Come on.
So maybe she had a few wives on her, but
yes.
still. But again,
we wouldn't have killed them. They would have canceled culture the hell out because it's your child's friend.
Yes.
And so for us, it's a little bit of, it's immoral. Like it's tacky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's been quite a few little tacky goes. And perhaps that's why she questioned, is she worthy? That's the title of the book. Worthy.
Is she worthy? That's the question she has to ask. And if she wants us to answer that question.
No, she wants y'all to read the book.
Oh, I ain't reading that shit. Oh, no, I ain't reading that shit.
And figure it out. That's the whole point of everybody talking about this. Yeah,
because
read the book.
No. The thing is, what I've seen has told me everything I need to know. So, what more can I learn from you? You're not trustworthy. Really not a wifey material. He just tried to make you a wife. That you would try anything and everything possible to tear down what that man is and what he tried to carry himself as. And you also disavow the marriage vows. You took shit and talking to people, ordinary people, about shit that you should be talking to among yourselves. I don't give a shit whether you married, divorced. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we know based off that slap situation, if y'all was in a particular situation, I wouldn't have got up. If we're separated for 7 years, Chris Rock can say any goddamn thing he wants because at this point, we're just living together. But obviously something motivated him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It always feels like this. It feels like I've been shown heads, but there's tails that exist as well. Like, if you look at the coin, there's a head and a tail. Like, I keep seeing heads. You keep throwing heads in front of me.
Well, that's because,
but what's the tail?
Yeah, that's the other person's story.
Right, but it might not even be the other person's story. In this scenario,
that's what's missing.
Like A to B to C based on what you have told me makes no sense. Right? So you're telling me y'all been broken for 6 years and you're saying, I don't even know why the fuck he got up that day. Like, I don't even understand why he even stood up. Like, he could have just let it slide of him and just fine. Right. But if anybody who's a body language expert or anybody who's ever seen any black woman pissed off in history can tell you when you looked at her sitting across that table, she stared daggers in Will specifically in that moment. As if to say, nigga, you tee-heeing this shit. You not gonna do nothing? Yeah, any black man can look at that black woman face that she displayed in that moment and say, yeah, because that's a face that everybody man has seen from somebody in their life. Their mother, their sister, their cousin, their auntie, their wife, somebody. Right. Where you know, oh, that means I fucked up. You just know. Black people know. When there was a sidebar, there was a black guy doing some news broadcast, and he was at a local fair, and they had sausage hot dogs. So they asked the man to try one. He said, oh, man, this looks good. This looks great. He took a bite of that hot dog, and he was like, He's talking with the whole hot dog on one side of his mouth. Talking about some, that's a good burger. That's a good hot dog, y'all. Yeah, back to y'all. Like, y'all in the studio, back to you. And he's still holding it. Yeah. And then they cut over and you see his person in the studio who's a black woman, and she's just smiling at the camera because she knows, just like we all knew, that hot dog was straight ass.
gross.
Because as a black person, you looked at him, you saw his face, you knew what he wanted to say. This is terrible. I would never eat this.
Yeah.
But instead of sitting on television, this is my job, so I gotta sit here and lie.
Yeah.
So black people, we just know each other, and there's very, 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 very few cases where you can look at a particular stance from black men or black women and not know what the hell was being said.
Yeah.
So we all, as black people, saw her look at him,
Yeah.
right, with the hostile ass face. That scream, you better do something about this.
Defend my honor.
Defend my honor. And you was cool because you was smiling when he smacked the shit out the nigga. So then when you now then come out and go, I don't even know why the fuck he did that. Like, you sound so nonchalant, like he was just out here wilding. I had no clue. But then you wouldn't have looked at stared daggers in him when it happened, and you wouldn't have been applauding him when he smacked the fuck out the nigga. So obviously you're saying heads, but there's a tails behind that. That's why it always feels like everything she says is disingenuous. It feels like, okay, you're saying this, but that's not everything. It just can't be. Okay. Because then A to B to C doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why would he smack somebody if y'all been broke up for 7 years?
There's no way.
And y'all was like, we're not even fucking cool like that. Then why y'all even showing up to things together? Y'all could have sat at a different table.
No, hold. Sometimes you gotta keep up looks.
So right, you gotta keep up looks, right?
Business.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Right? You said you gotta keep up looks.
But I don't know the slap.
No. No, that's valid. No, that's valid though. You said you gotta keep up looks because if you go hide that shit and y'all really wasn't about to talk about it, you gotta maintain appearances, right?
Absolutely.
Then that means we maintain appearances throughout. That means even in post game, when you don't agree with the fact that he smacked that nigga, you need to sell that shit like you like.
Yeah, nah.
He protected you like he was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And he kept running his fucking name about me. So my husband stepped up and put him back in his place. And yeah, you can then follow it up with like, yeah, but we've been kind of broke up forever. But like, I appreciate the fact that like he still honored it. Like, there's not one time where it feels like she ever liked that nigga because of how she has vocalized their relationship through the things in which she speaks about.
It's like she's louder about the for worse part.
Yes, than she is about the what did he do for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like you look and she just shits on him on a consistent basis. Sometimes she shit on him a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes she shit on him a lot.
Yeah.
And he's pretty consistent. He's kind of
just depends on how much laxative she drunk that day.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's just like, I'm just going to keep quiet. Because, again, he has done enough damage for himself moving forward. Had he not slapped Chris Rock, he'd still be making $30, $40 million movies like that. Because he was a box office icon.
Right.
But with that, he had to pay the price. He can't go to any more awards show for the next 10 years. They're hesitating about, we ain't giving that new movie we were thinking about it because, he's just bad rep.
Yeah.
So he's like sitting back, and if I was with, I'd be thinking, wait a minute, we ain't fucking like that anymore. We're not close anymore. I slapped her to honor her, and yes, she's going to further tell people that I don't love you. My kids are telling me, damn, Dad, I wish you was Tupac, and I'm supposed to eat that shit. And he's doing it because he's like, I'm trying to salvage something within this. So he said, this is just this. And everybody now knows this is a facade. I have to, at least when this shit is over, I still have to be Will Smith. I have to be that guy that's going to stand for something because I've been beaten and I'm just, he's not saying anything.
I'm just eating all the bullshit.
I'm eating all the bullshit. And at some point, we're going to ask himself this question. Why am I eating so much bullshit for this?
Not necessarily Will going to ask that, but all of us going to start asking that. Why is Will willing to eat so much of this bullshit?
Will, if he got divorced today or tomorrow, there'll be millions and millions of women that will be at his doorstep to do anything he wants to do and will love him, probably, because he's Will, but they will say, oh, he's a good guy, and will actually do anything for him. And they say, that dumbass Jada.
But would he be attracted to those women? He'd be like, she don't touch me like how Jada touched.
No, so see,
he could be like,
the rumor is
she don't move like how she move. She don't smell like how she smell.
Honestly, it might be a benefit, bro. Like, on some real shit. The rumor is that they've always had an open relationship, regardless of how you move. She did
dispel that relationship too. Supposedly, it was just because of the fact that they were dating while separated. because they were separated, they perhaps would be seeing someone else. And if you saw them out with someone else, you would then think that, it's just an open marriage. But to her, it just wasn't your business.
So again,
I saw that on the interview. I did see that because, I had to go get my research.
Oh, yeah.
To see what are we talking about today.
We have to. And it's just.
So she said no to an open relationship, but yes to we were not divorced, but we were divorced. Like we were divorced within our marriage. That's pretty much how she explained it.
Right. So if you're divorced in a relationship, but like y'all still together, and you're not in an open relationship, but you are in an open relationship, like niggas just making fucking noise at that rate. Like you don't fucking know what the hell y'all doing. Like just call a spade. Like nigga, we was just throwing. Honestly, we was just throwing shit against the fucking wall. Like one day I woke up in the morning and I was like, I got some monkey shit in my hand. Let me see what the fuck I'm gonna sling this bitch. Oh, there's a wall right there. Let me hit that motherfucker. So it look like you're saying that we're gonna be in an open relationship today. Like if you're not happy, bro, like it's cool to not be happy in a relationship. It's cool. You got to figure out if this is the relationship you want to be in. If that's not what you want to do, then go ahead and pack it up. Mm-hmm. But don't sit here like all these years later and be swearing up. And that's just in my humble opinion, swearing up and down that you don't fuck with this nigga. Like you don't like her. You don't like her. You cannot like somebody. In my opinion, you can't like somebody or care about somebody and move the way she moves. Because if I care about you and I like you enough, I'm not going to sit there and say like, damn, he just really, like, I know we might have been separated for 7 years, but yo really did smack the fuck out of this man for me. Because call a spade a spade. He ain't smack her for himself.
No.
What was it like, oh my God, Chris, you really offended me. I'm going to smack you for me. Yeah. No, he didn't smack him for you. He smacked him for you, particularly Jada, not for himself. He don't give a fuck about this shit. He did it because obviously he's like, I gotta go do something. And that wasn't a good thought. It was a bad idea. We're not blaming. I'm not gonna sit here and say that like, well, it's completely autonomous. He should have just accepted the shit, or like he should have moved different. Like, no, you shouldn't have smacked the guy. Mm-hmm. Point blank period.
Absolutely.
You fucked up. That was a bad idea. Yeah. You have to pay the consequences for that. But don't like if you care about somebody, you're not gonna sit there and just be like, yeah, I know he risked his career for me, but like fuck that nigga. Like he should have never done that shit anyway. Because that's how you move it. And that's the shit that, and please understand the women who are somehow still here who are defending Jada after I told you to go fuck yourself. I appreciate you because you're an open-minded person. But I say this to say like how I'm saying this is how a lot of guys are looking at this scenario. Mm-hmm. I'm not just saying it because it sounds good to me. I'm saying it because that is a common sentiment. You don't fuck with somebody who you do that you do to this.
I just want to say it sounds like she doesn't know how to like outwardly and like publicly honor her guy.
Yes.
That's what it's just like, like a case of like perhaps you just don't know. Like, what are you doing? Because if you knew better, we'd assume you do better.
And T, I feel you on that. I hear you. The problem is you old enough and been around this world long enough to understand protocol.
All of it.
You should understand. You're not some chick living on the streets of Baltimore City or any other city.
Else, yeah.
You've been in that lifestyle for a while. Not last week. You've been in it for decades. Yeah. So at some point you say, you know what? We may be going through our own things in our marriage, but it's nobody else's reason. Nobody need to know what this shit is. Mm-hmm. That for you to write a book and then go on a book tour. Like, okay, yeah, we live separately, but I'm going to book tour and just shit on this guy and just, say, am I worthy? No, you're not. Because women who think like that will always be by themselves. Because no guy want that shit. If a guy marries you, and it takes a lot, because again, for us to say, damn it, I'm going to marry her. Mm-hmm. Most of us try to run. We ain't really trying to get married. We'll try to.
Mostly I try to run.
Early on,
a large majority of niggas not trying.
Okay.
No, we ain't trying to get married.
Everybody just like the press site.
Most niggas not trying to get married.
We ain't trying to get married. We try to get all the goodies we can and
go to the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's gonna be that one lady. Guys, it will be this one lady that's gonna happen, and you're gonna say, you know what? That's my queen. I'm gonna protect her with my life. I'm gonna make sure I do everything to make sure this unit stays tight. And I got her. God damn it. If I got to work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week to get some shit that she want, I'm going to fucking do it because she got me, I got her. We're a team.
Right.
if that guy finds out this woman that he has invested himself in, because by the time we do that, we all in. We're all in. I mean, we're tearing up every time you say something to us. We may not cry at the moment while you're talking, but we're going to be in the car, be in the window, in the glass mirror. Damn, I know I'm hearing that upset. But because you take it personally, because you just want to make sure that you're as happy as possible. And if you're happy, damn it, I could be happy too, because you're making me happy.
Right.
But as a woman, if you fuck up that and you out there, everything he does, that ain't enough. No, that ain't enough. Babe, I bought you a 2019 Porsche. I want a 2023 Porsche. Well, I can afford it. No, I want the 23. You're going to be like, wait a minute. I done went out there and bought a goddamn $70,000 car for me. You want an $85,000 car?
Yeah, because everybody's weirded out that $15,000 made a difference to you. Nah, that was $20 in the car payment extra.
See, now as a man, you're like, I done went ahead and did all this shit, and she.
But you knew the type of woman you was dealing with.
Well, again, don't forget, y'all do play games.
No, y'all played the games: manipulation, deceit, lies.
That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. Y'all play that game. See, y'all use the punani.
No, what they'll say is like, "Oh, I don't care what you do." But it's secretly like will stab you 8 times in a night in her mind if you don't do the exact thing she thought about you.
No, I told you I don't care what you do. I don't care what type of car you pick me up, okay? But I would like a car that would be nice. Oh, let me send him the type of car I want in the text message. Oh, let me email him the type of car I would like in the email. I gave you all the proper directions and you ignored them all. Still got the wrong model.
See, why? Because we know that, goddamn it, I know you want that Lamborghini, but I'm have to fuck around and get you a little Volkswagen or something like that, because that's where our pockets are looking right now. Because I could get you that Lamborghini, but you be living in that Lamborghini. Because I understand.
Or the issue is that you want the car, but like you have no cognizant or no like understanding what that costs. Like, okay, yeah, it's $20 extra. Okay, $20 extra a payment, but we pay every 2 weeks. That's $40 extra every month. Remember how I give you $50 for your hair and nails? Like now that's gone because there's the flexible money.
It costs more than that. The hell is y'all doing $50 paying?
See.
So now there's something else has to get sacrificed.
Yeah.
But I know, and you know secretly, I know outwardly, you're not going to sacrifice anything else. You and I both know, if I tell you, okay, I can buy that car, but that's going to mean that we don't go out to eat every week.
No.
That means now date night's done. No, now what you're saying is that means you need to go get another job, nigga, because obviously you're not doing enough to afford the car and this.
Yeah.
I understand where my finances are, and I understand that you're not going to contribute, so I got to make what's the best
So
call.
you trying to sacrifice stuff. And
You're going to have to sacrifice because I'm already sacrificing.
I'm thinking you got a raise and you talking about some we ain't going out date night no more.
No, because the raise went to the car that you wanted, right?
Absolutely.
So now you have nothing. So when you do that enough, fuck all that. Fuck all that.
See,
so now you have nothing.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Because now the guy's like, God damn, I try to give you what I could afford, and that ain't good enough for you. The one
you
thing...
knew that woman was, though, when you first started. Like, there's not that much deceit in the world. Come on.
Okay.
No. I'm not. No, you see, you gonna be balanced about this shit. No, fuck that. I got it. No, I got it. There is. There is. There is. It's both. It's a two-sided street because niggas will lie about how much money they got, and women will lie about how much money they're willing to accept. Call a spade a spade. You will lie and say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't I just want a gift that's from the heart." He go and get you some flowers. You're like, "Nigga, you got flowers for me for my gift?" Like, it's the little shit where guys, we don't think like you. We think like, yo, you want something, just say it. Like,
you don't want to give me no jewelry from the heart.
Right, because you don't say, you didn't give me jewelry.
You can't just ask for a gift.
Yes, you can. That's what the purpose of asking for a gift is.
Like y'all.
If you have an expectation,
tell me
no, because you being kind about it. If you have an expectation, then you need to vocalize that.
Yeah, but you didn't notice that time that I sent you that text message, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
You send me text messages about everything.
Yeah,
I saw this really cute dog. I saw this really wonderful vacation spot. I saw this really nice dress. I saw this couch. When you send me 18, 19 different text messages of different things, and every time I ask you, yo, did you want that? Or like, was you just showing me? I just want you to see it. I just want you to see it. So now, when you say, oh, I got a gift, and you show me a 2023 car, this is a point of reference. This is a point of reference.
You're supposed to be able to know. Read in between the lines.
No, this time, this is not a suggestion. This is what I want.
Yeah, that's how we are.
No, because you don't want to just be honest.
Oh, I like that.
Because how I read it, and you do it. There's somebody right now who's just like, yeah, that's me. And that's fine if that's you, but then don't be mad at your man for not getting the thing that you wanted because you didn't ask for the thing that you wanted.
I know, but y'all gonna get like a good return policy going because we didn't want that item. I just want to know. Can we take the car back?
And you know what? And let me tell you.
Wasn't that a skit on Instagram or something?
I think it was a skit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you real talk. A man would take that back and he was like, fuck it, you buy your own.
Now you don't need nothing.
You ain't getting shit.
Now you know, what's that song? You will never know me. Her ass out in the cold now.
He's done. And now he's down.
Y'all ungrateful as hell.
No.
Ungrateful.
You're right. You guys are ungrateful as hell. You ladies are ungrateful as motherfuckers. I'm so glad you said that.
Your food is flavored how you want it to be flavored. You know what I'm saying? Your little fun stuff is in the bed when you want it to be in the bed, you know, like everything taken care of.
But you know what you said, though?
Your kids in order.
But you know what you just said, though? You said, look, your clothes are done. Your food is taken care of.
All that.
Blah, blah, blah.
How you like it.
You're right. And that's awesome if that's what you was doing. But we've talked about this. That's not what's happening out here. I'm not cooking for that nigga. Like, he's a grown-ass man. He's not about washing his car. So you're not washing my clothes. You're not cooking food. You're not doing shit for me. So I have to give you everything.
So they out here saying y'all grown-ass men and you can take care of yourself.
You can take care of yourself. But I'd be good and goddamn if I have to take care of myself. Fuck that. What I got you for?
And you gotta get the car correct.
And look, don't let the car be fucked up.
Okay. Yep. I mean, it's hard out here.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, women fail to realize that, like, dog, niggas see this shit constantly. Whether it's us happening to us actively or it's happening to one of our mans actively.
Right.
So when you see that stuff, like, you see like a Jada, you see women come out of left, right, and center, like, man, I stand by her, like, Will was a piece of trash. Like, yeah, Will might have been a piece of trash as a husband. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. That's not my concern right now. My concern is looking at, like, what are you doing in this relationship from your perspective that's making your life either easier or harder? And you keep showing me that you keep making your life harder.
Oh,
you keep actively showing that your life is hard because you keep making bad decisions. You keep making poor choices. You keep actively
making it. Is your leadership on point? I'm just want to know. Is the leadership on point? Because I thought
you don't. What leadership?
I thought
because you told me, "Fuck you, nigga. I'm not cooking for you shit. I'm not cleaning for you. I'm gonna be up in your house. You burn up all your electricity. And guess what? Some days I might feel like fucking. Some days I might not.
Damn.
The
ladies didn't say that.
And ladies cannot have to do anything that they do not want to.
No, but we want to do that.
No, that's true. No woman should have to cook for another nigga if she don't want to.
We want to cook for the man.
For the women who don't, you should not have to cook for a man if you don't want to. You should not have to clean for a man if you don't want to. You should not have to fuck anybody you don't want to. Because why? You are an individual.
Yes.
You should be able to make those choices for yourself.
But what's the repercussions of not?
Repercussions is that you will be 45 years old with 2 cats, a dog, and a fucking ferret in your house chasing shit all day.
That shit stink too. Let me tell you.
It just is what it is. And that could be the other side of it because it's a give and take.
Yeah.
If you're not going to give financially because you say the man should be able to provide, then you have to give somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you're constantly saying that, oh, the man is a man and he should be able to take care of himself, that is a true statement. But how is you as a woman exist without being able to take care of yourself too?
Right.
So when you end up in a relationship, you decide, I don't want to take care of myself now. I want him to be able to take care of my nails and take care of the house that I live in because I'm living with him. Then, like, what does he gain from that?
Your happiness, right?
Right.
That's the other part. Like, and I need him to make me happy.
And I need him to make me happy. And if he doesn't do stuff, then I'm upset. This is like, okay, so what you just told me was I refuse to do any more adult shit the moment I get in a relationship. I am now going to be the child in this relationship. You will take care of me, daddy. Like that's what I'm hearing.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
And that's cool.
Yes,
but then don't be upset when daddy treats you the way daddy feels. When daddy come home and he drunk his shit and tired of all this bullshit,
daddy.
and then he get mad, it just is what it is. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's bad out here. I mean, again, men want to be bottom line, we want to be appreciated. You know, appreciation is key. I mean, you have to bust your ass, and then you give her something, and she's like, I want something different. You're like, in your mind, you ain't going to say it to her. You're going to say, bitch, you know how hard I had to work, and I had to sacrifice what I wanted to get this for you, and you just kind of like,
I think sometimes mentally we get, like, so bogged down in just, like, being bogged down in misery. Like, you just miserable now. And you forget, like, yo, you got to actually actively go out and seek your own happiness. Whatever it is that, you know, makes you happy. You can't, like, be like the negative Nancy in the space, sucking life out of the room, and then just be like, think that's okay and that's normal. Like, you have to actively want to be happy and bring happiness to the space.
Bring happiness.
Like, you can't just come to take it.
Oh, T. That's why you see so many women in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s who are by themselves and I don't know how I end up by myself. I don't know why a man wouldn't want me. I don't. And if they really just turn that mirror, take off those two masks that we talked about earlier on the first episode ever. Yeah. And look at who the hell they are. Yeah. They would ask yourself this question. Based on what you see, would you date you? Yeah. And if you said no, then you got your answer. But they don't want to do that work. Because that means you have to sit there and like, oh, I got to really tear down this shit. You got to pay attention to yourself. They don't want to. Yeah. Because, again, they're looking at why. How many times you hear this? How she married and I ain't married? How she got a good man and I ain't got. Permanent complainers, complaining about everybody else, every other situation. You got too much stuff to talk about. Jada and Will shit. So now you sitting back commenting on all the shit that Jada did wrong, all the shit Will did right, and you still can't even worry about your damn self. Oh. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, and that's the truth. And that's why you can't even learn a damn thing from the whole situation. Because at least we set off the break. Yeah, no, this is an example of love languages that, you know, clearly they not the same. Like, they weren't on the same page. Like, they couldn't see each other. We're going to take that away from the situation. But if you at home negative, complaining all day, every day about everything, to that, to this, you're going to stay right there. And you're going to wallow in that shit, and you're going to age, and they're going to. And, of course, if you don't get married, this is just with somebody you ain't married yet. You're just in the house, and he's accepting you. Because some guys get to a point like, you know what? It is what it is. I know her. I know this craziness. I know there's a lot of other crazies out there. I rather deal with this crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to marry this crazy, but I'm going to deal with this crazy. Yeah, it's just the devil you know. Yeah. And you know what happens with that? Yeah. You end up living your whole fucking life as what could have been. Because at some point, you go like, damn, I used to be 20. Mm-hmm. Now I'm 45. Mm-hmm. I'm still with the same crazy bitch. Didn't marry her. Never been married. Nope, never been married. Got a gang of kids. But I'm still not happy. One thing you can say about anything you want to say about Jada being foolish is a married woman. Like, yes, she is like she's married. She's pretty accomplished. Like the highs, the lows, the goods, the bads. Like her journey has been quite a journey. Like, absolutely. And technically, that's what the shit is about. You better have some life experiences and enjoy it, because clearly it's going to be some downs. So you better have some goddamn ups along the way. That's so true. And that goes back to everybody wants to be married. Nobody understands. Oh, let me also say this. I've been looking at some other YouTube channels and other things, and I'm like, wait a minute. The people I'm looking at, they ain't never been married. They read a couple fucking books, and now they're expert in relationships and marriage. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit. Mm-hmm. We know because we've been married for over 2 decades, almost 3 decades. Mm-hmm. So we're not reading it from a fucking book. Mm-hmm. We're not saying, I saw a corresponding course in relationships and marriage. We live this shit. So when we tell you, we're telling you from experience. Mm-hmm. You every day you have to constantly make sure that you're living towards whatever goal you're trying to reach in life. And you have to make sure that person, that you're helping that person get to where they need to get to as they're trying to help you. Yeah. It's a team sport. Yeah. So this war that seems to be out there.
Battle of the sexes.
Yeah, well, women versus men. Like, the fuck?
Women's the fault of this, and men is the fault of that. No,
Yes.
y'all started it.
See,
hey,
and again,
you're it.
and that goes back to some other dumb shit I heard. Toxic masculinity. There's no fucking thing called toxic
But
masculinity.
there's a toxic man, and there's
Absolutely.
a toxic woman.
Exactly.
But your masculinity being toxic is like, nah, masculinity is just
who you
masculinity.
are.
Like,
exactly. You can't be toxic. I mean, so again, when you have guys, and that goes back for not being raised or having proper role models. Because again, if you were raised by a bunch of women as a man, how do you actually learn how to become a man? Who is your mom going to teach you?
You learn what a woman's idea of a man is instead
Absolutely.
of what a man's idea of what a man is. And that's the biggest issue, that there's a lot of women telling men how to be men. That is literally impossible. Just like as a guy, I cannot tell you how to be a woman.
No.
I can't tell you, I can tell you as a mate what I am looking for as a mate. And for each man, that the definition of what my mate needs to do changes. Some men don't give a fuck if their wife contribute. Some men just want somebody to stand next to them and look pretty. Some men want a partner. Some men want somebody who's like, okay, she might not be necessarily right next to me. She might be a step ahead of me or a step behind me. But either way, financially that might be the case, but we still make sure that like we bridge that gap. Like, okay, she might be a little bit ahead of me in finances. I might be a little bit ahead of her in finances, but like, no, she still got access to my bank account and make sure she's good. Every person has a different requirement system for what they believe their mate should be. People want to then find people who they like and then slot them into what their vision of what their life should be. That is at least if I recall correctly, one of the issues with Jada and Will was Will had an idea of what his life should look like, and then tried to find somebody to buy into that idea. He just found somebody who didn't buy into the idea. Jada wasn't with the vision of what he wanted to do with his life.
Or maybe she was like 40% of the vision, and he thought he could work with the
and fill in the rest.
That was not present. He thought that wasn't going to be an issue.
That right there, what you just said, T, is ultimately the fucking problem we got relationships right now. It's still looking at people and saying, here's who you are, and can I accept who you are? They say, oh, you know what? Damn, she looks good. She banging. I could take that, and I could take and mold her.
It's not. I don't know that that's what's happening. I think sometimes it's the chemistry. The chemistry knock you off your socks. You be so drawn to them that you don't err on the side of logic soon enough, right? By the time you put logic in play, it's 20 years later, and you're like, I don't want to be this guy's everything. I don't want this lifestyle. Like, what? No, this guy is a control freak. This woman doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. You don't realize this shit till it's too late. Because now you got logic and now the chemistry is gone. So now you can actually see clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clearly.
What? Oh, the smoke is gone? Yeah. Yeah, out the matrix.
The best part is your people have seen that already. And they have probably told you.
Yeah, no,
the exact
they did
same
tell
thing.
you.
Yep. They probably have told you that already.
No, they did.
And then 20 years later, you're like, dog, that bitch is crazy. Oh, really?
We've been telling you.
Really, nigga?
Been telling you.
Ben told your ass crazy.
And now you're in a dilemma. Because now you're like, fuck, I've been working for 25 years and I ain't happy.
Yeah.
And then you start weighing comfortability versus the unknown.
Oh. Because that's what really happens when you teeter-totter in a separation.
Because,
right?
Again.
Because that's a teeter-totter, and you're talking about a 7-year one, right? The average person only going to do about, 2 months.
Maybe
2 months to 2 years, right?
Yep.
Like, most people's not really going to go like an average Joe Schmo, right? If you financially can afford to get up out of there, that separation's not, we're not teeter-tottering for that long.
No, we got to go because we got to move on because we understand this is a dead end. Yeah, am I going to continue to sit here and the dead end is never going to change? So I need to make a move. So you make the move and get the fuck out and go find someone else that will love you. But then there's a point, like I said, in this case, you talk about a lot of time, money,
And
all
you
that
know,
shit going
yeah,
on.
and that's the biggest thing is that I wanted to touch on that before we left that idea. How long do you wait, right? Because I think that's a lot of issues that people get stuck because you want to say like, oh, I don't want to give up on a relationship too fast, right? And you think like, damn, how long does it take for somebody to get it, whatever it is? How long does it take for her to understand that like we need both of us to contribute to maintain the lifestyle that she wants, or like how long does it take for him to understand that like, yeah, you might want to do this, but like I really don't like when this happens. I really don't like having your friends over all the time or whatever. People say like, oh, I'll wait for him to change. I'll wait for her to change.
Yeah.
And then we end up having this conversation of like, you're 20 years deep and you're like, nigga, this motherfucker ain't never changed. And now I done wasted this huge chunk of time because this person never changed. But then we also say that like divorce rates are OD, 50%, freaking women running at 70% clip to get divorced because their mates aren't fulfilling what they envisioned in the first like 2 years. Right? But then we also talk about relationships that are, oh man, they've been together 8 years, and then like in year number 8, they finally put it all together, and then they were married for another 30. So it's like, when do you find the time to cut bait? And realistically, a lot of people wonder. And to me, I'm like, bro, you got to figure that out for yourself. How long are you willing to wait for somebody to make an adjustment for you that you require in order to feel like you're living a complete life?
I think that first of all, most people when they separate, it's not even a proper separation to figure that out. Most people when they separate, it's like first experience is like anger, right? Whatever it is that's kind of prompting you to actually get out of the house or out of the space or away from your mate. Like they're probably fired up. Like nah, it's time to go. So the headspace is off. So anytime you exit a relationship with a headspace is just like off, that'll prolong the separation, right? It'll definitely prolong the separation because now you're fighting, now there's friction, now we can't agree on anything. Absolutely. And if you can't agree on anything, you can't go to the next phase.
Nope.
And so when you say how long is the separation, it depends on who you're talking to. Some people's separation was 2 months, other people's separation was 10 years. Like straight up, nah, mom lived upstairs, dad lived downstairs, that shit went on for 10 years. Some people's separation was 18 years. I didn't like her. We had that youngest kid. I didn't like him. We had our youngest child, and neither one of us was walking about at his house until her ass went to college. And it depends. It depends. Some people live, their lifestyle like how they have to live, and you enter into a marriage as a means to protect, your empire and whatever it is that's within inside that empire that needs to be protected. And so that's why for all of us, it's just a little bit weird that she has to expose all these different elements of her marriage. Like, we all get it. Like, yeah, depression, can't get out the damn bed. Nah, but we all get it. Because if you weren't there, you know somebody who was there.
You sure do.
Like, we all get it. Marriage is ugly. It's for better or for worse. Sickness or in health. Sick people. It's not fun being married to someone who is ill, right?
No.
It's not fun being married to someone who is an addict for anything. The for worse part can get bad in the marriage.
Very bad.
It can get bad. We get it.
Yes.
So the separation, we don't know, but we know it exists within a marriage, and everybody don't need to know when you and your spouse is separated within your marriage. And so y'all real life ready to divorce and keep it going y'all separate ways. That's your business.
Absolutely. And I go back to being adults. A lot of people act like grown-ass kids.
Absolutely.
They
That's
don't
the anger.
Talk about anybody getting mad. And I should be mad. Nobody's saying you should be. Yes, if he fucked around on you, if he brought back chlamydia or some shit like that.
But how long you going to be mad for?
You're going to have to move.
How long you going to be mad for? Because that chlamydia cleared up in how many days? I'm just saying.
That's very true.
Like,
so you got to.
Oh, he messed up the car. He took the car. Like, okay, but now you got wheels now? Now you good now? He messed up the insurance. She messed up the what? How long we going to be mad at these things for before we can real life talk
And that's
And
the
move forward.
problem. People can't, is you get so blinded by the anger and the distrust and all the other stuff that the logic goes out the window. That's when you say, okay, logic, come back, because I can't live here.
Yeah.
I'm here, but
Yeah.
this is not where I'm supposed to
Can't
be.
live on the fence.
No, I got to make a decision. Is this the worst? Can I deal with this worse? And could I have something worse than that? I don't know. It could be
Right.
an ailment that could come, and now I'm with some fucked up disease that I'm gonna need this person to be in my life to help me with. I didn't expect it to be that way, but it just happened to be that way. So you have to understand, you have to be adults in this situation. You can't act like a kid. You can be mad, yes, but put that shit in its proper perspective. If you're gonna be mad forever and you say I can't get over it, then end the shit.
Yeah.
But don't sit around and waddle and and every time you have a fucking discussion is always bringing it up. And then the other thing, when you finally say, I accept you, don't bring that shit up 10 years down the road. Remember 10 years down
It
the road
don't
you gave
even
me
be 10
chlamydia?
years. It be 10 days later. Nah, baby, please come back home. And then the snap. You know how, first of all, you think a female not bringing that back up? Oh, okay.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
That shit is in the back of your mind. Every
It's
time you
in
do
the
some
back of-
fucked up shit, you're going to bring it back up. You play around on her, she's going to say, where you going? All of a sudden, she got a track on your phone, track on your car, put a goddamn eye thing on you,
Tags,
tag on you, because then she don't trust you.
But then my thing is like, I hear that all the time. And I guess, just like I say, it's just because I feel like it's all nonsense. If I have to go through that much work, I just don't, it's not worth it to me.
Yes,
No.
it's done, actually.
It's done because
And if there
I've
are
lost
no
my peace of
assets,
mind.
Like, if there's no assets we're arguing about,
Yeah.
and we're not like,
We don't have
trying
kids.
to-
You know, we
like,
just been
what are
dating
you
for a
trying
few
to
years.
prove? Are
What
you trying to prove your deceit? Don't prove my deceit for me.
No.
That's all I'm gonna tell you. Don't help me prove my lie.
No,
that's
no.
dumb.
That's
Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna go through hoops to prove your lie to you. You know you lying.
No, exactly.
Cut the shit out. Yeah.
So-
now let's go and wrap this whole thing up and carry on.
Exactly.
Because I'm not buying no tags and putting that shit in your shoe.
No.
I'm not doing it.
I took his social media and all this shit. That's too much. That's too
No.
fucking much.
Like, no, he follows all these
No.
women on IG, and I just hate, and like he's got photos of his ex. Like, if these are issues, like people for some reason, I guess, go in relationships and just don't be thinking about like shit that you really not okay with, and like being honest with yourself, because they say, oh, I found somebody and like they have this thing, but I can work on that. Like sometimes it's okay to say like, look, you're really cool with your exes. I don't
not
feel
my
cool about
style.
that.
Yes.
That's just not for me.
style. It's not for me. It's shit's not
Yeah.
appropriate. It's actually out of order, fucker. We're not doing it. Pass on. Just pass on the shit.
It's okay to say this is not for
Call
me.
a spade a
Yep.
spade.
Because he might find a girl who is cool with her exes and he's cool with his exes, and they're okay with each other being cool with their exes.
Or he got all these goddamn exes because he ain't never know how to get rid of his exes, and eventually it's gonna bing him that he's out of or she's out of order, whichever one's doing it, because you know it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna bing him eventually and say, "Oh, I actually don't have any reason or business keeping in touch with my exes. It's dumb and disrespectful and out of order." Yeah,
Damn.
like some
Yeah.
things you could just pass on.
And you have to, because again, we're dealing with so much just anger and confusion, and I'm just gonna say, just communicate.
Yeah.
Just open your mouth, and it's not even about I don't want to hurt her feelings. You're being honest. She may not like it, he may not like
But
it.
some people aren't very honest and honest about themselves and where they're at because you don't know.
Yep.
So you might be 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door. But you don't really know which way you want to do because you don't really know how you really feel, and
Gotta make a decision.
you have to. Yeah.
Life is
Somebody's got to make a fucking decision.
Yes.
You can't.
If you can't make the decision, then you ideally should have somebody across the table who can look at this and say, yeah, no.
Because we gotta close the door. Can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door.
Not the whole time.
Goddamn
You've been
door.
together 4 years.
Come on.
Out of the 4 years, 3 years, your foot's one in, one out.
Yeah.
You're not about this life. Just go ahead and leave.
just leave, because you're gonna get in life. You're gonna drive down the road, and you're gonna get to a fork in the road. We all do. You either go left or you go right. You can't just stay in the middle. I don't know where I'm going. No.
No. See, what niggas do is they fuck around and say, all right, this is about the fork in the road. Let me go and hop in the back, put on my 4 off-road tires, and then we just go
Right down the middle.
just go figure it the fuck out.
That's
And you'll just be on the bumps and I'm flying left, right, instead of quick all over your lot.
Wow.
Freaking McDonald's all over the car and some more shit. But you're like, fuck it, I just drive down the middle.
Like, I'm fine. We got it. No.
And what y'all
choose.
just said, you decide to go down the middle. What that means, you made no decision.
You
and
made no
decision's going to
choice.
be made for you.
That's it.
And I tell people all the time, I don't want to make a decision. You made a decision. Because when you made no decision, you did make one. You just don't know what that end result going to be.
Yeah.
But you have
allowed
to.
someone else to make it for you now.
And you don't want to do that. You don't want fate to make your decision for you because you were too indecisive,
Yeah.
childish,
Immature.
Cowardice.
all that. So it's just like, people.
Lazy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
People, you got to make decisions in your life. We're talking about Jada. Jada is a small piece of sand in a beach of life. Everyone has to make some sort of decision about their happiness. And if you were someone and you have to tear them down to make yourself feel good, just leave them. It's not worth it. There's somebody out there for you. First of all, you got to find out who the hell you are before you out there searching, finding someone. Learn who you are, know who you are before you go out there and start to look for people. Because if not, you could be like Jada, or Will, or both. I don't know. What you think, T?
Oh man, y'all don't beat Jada up too bad. Y'all don't beat Jada up too bad. That's what I'm.
Okay, all right. We're gonna.
Damn, she catching a hot chair right now.
Yes, she
She
is.
was not pleased at all with what she's saying. Her interviews are going very well. Like, the interviewers are very much so receiving what she's saying and understanding it. But once you get to the podcast and those YouTube reactions and all that, baby, oh no, the people are not pleased. Yeah.
No.
Keep your business for the rest of us. Let's keep our business to ourselves.
Yes. Keep it to yourself. Talk. If y'all can't talk to each other, then go see a therapist. Go to your synagogue, go to your priest, go to somebody and have a conversation. But airing your shit out in public is not going to be good for your marriage. And in fact, your marriage is probably over at that point if you got to go outside and reach to other people.
I mean, it's going to take some time to work on that because, your marriage is not supposed to be someone else's, like, entertainment piece. And that's what's going to end up happening is that your personal and private affairs become someone else's entertainment piece. Now they're commenting, putting their influences on you and how you respond and react to certain things.
Absolutely.
And that's totally out of order. Now you can't even think and figure out if you're going to go to the left or to the right now because someone's influencing you to do something that, perhaps you wouldn't have done it like that.
Absolutely. Damn. As always, you always end up with that clear vision of what people should do. Listen to us. Again, people, we tell you, we're married, been married for a long time, so we're telling you from experience. Again, if y'all can't talk about it among yourselves, talk to someone else. And with that, we're gonna leave this episode of On the Mic with the M
and T.
Listen, people, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the little bell so you can get the latest podcast that comes out. And until then,